Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Stefan and welcome to another video of Chronicles of Elyria. Today we're going to be talking about land, housing and construction. So, this is not everything there is to know. Obviously, they're not going to tell us everything because they want to kind of keep it a secret for those when you get in game to be kind of a surprise, obviously. But there is a little hint that we can take for us to get a feel of what it's going to be like. So, first, let's start with benefits of houses. Like, why would you need a house? Some might say like, well, can I just sleep in the forest? Like, because I'll be on so many adventures, I'll probably just sleep in the forest. Well, here's for example one. Survival is one thing. For example, when it gets cold outside, having a house is a very important thing. To go somewhere where you can warm yourself up, because you know, it's not going to be very helpful if you're outside and it's cold. You're probably going to freeze to death. That's not fun, right? So you'll need a house for that, for example. Next thing, storage. With your limited inventory, it is good to have a safe place to leave your unused equipment and possessions. Basically, if you're on an adventure, you'll find something you want to keep as a memory. Well, it's not a good idea to carry it with you everywhere, because it might be a huge thing. It might be a rock, for example. Who knows? Because you were fighting something, I don't know what, and a rock saved you, so you wanted to take that rock as a memory. It's a good place to leave it at your house, maybe, for example. Next thing is crafting. Your house can contain a crafting station. For example, you can turn one of the rooms into a crafting station where you can craft, for example, armor, weapons, a lot of other things as well. Or you want to turn a room into your own bakery where you can bake bread, for example, and take it with you when you go out on an adventure to have food with you, just in case you don't find that pig, for example, in the wilderness in order to cook it up, for example. I don't know. Next thing is families. Of course, you need a home for your partner and your child in order to have a happy life, to live a happy life. For example, also, each child requires their own bedroom, meaning the number of children is kind of capped by the house size. So, for example, you can't have 20 children if your house is a small one. You're gonna have a mansion if you have 20 children. But yeah, that's basically the benefits of a house. Here are also some things you should know about buying the land. Basically, the process is you simply take the contract, sign your name, put the required money, and take ownership of the land. Once you have done that, you own it, and you can legally build on it or use it as farm. That is totally your choice what you will do with the land. And the land is actually pretty big. If I remember correctly, each parcel of land is about 64 meters by 64 meters, which in total is 4,096 square meters, which can hold many buildings. A typical starting building might be about 36 square meters, so it's kind of an indication of how big a parcel of land is. You can do so many things on that. So just by thinking of that, about how many players there might be, and you know, you could just imagine how huge the world will actually be if that is one of the parcels you can have. Next thing, also there's something interesting, that basically they have added a system of repossessing abandoned land, because obviously it's not a good thing to have a lot of land. Like, a person will buy a land and then not come online forever, and then his character dies and it's still his or something. I mean, it's crazy. It's totally crazy. It'll just take place, and you know, it could be in good use from another player. So they've added this system of repossessing. And basically, so if the land has not been visited by owners or family members in the last 28 real life days, someone can attempt to take possession of it. So that's good. 28 days is really good amount. Also, you know, there could be several owners of that land or family members. So basically, at least one of them has to go and check it out. If it doesn't happen, then well, it's pretty much abandoned. Also, before exposition, there will be people who will use the web interface to select their land. This will start with the highest nobility and descend with them by IP. The kings will choose their kingdoms first along with the rest of their land, and also then will go dukes, who will choose as well, likely aligning themselves with a king. Then counts will do the same, finally majors, and barons go last. During your selection period, you'll know a bit about the land, natural resources, city population, size, neighbors, etc., which will help you choose where to establish yourself. You'll be able to make alliances on the forums and communicate with players choosing land near your own. Landowners without a title will enter exposition via choosing a family and may then choose their land in game. So yes, that's pretty cool. I mean, that sounds pretty amazing. Kings will already, the ones that have donated in the Kickstarter will already be choosing before the game has even started. So that's good. It's gonna be really fun to see. Also, let's talk about creating a building. In order to create a building, you'll first need to engage an architect for designs. Which, you know, what game does that? You know, usually you go like, okay, you gather this much resources and you can instantly build a house. It doesn't work that way in this game because, as you know, Chronicles of Elyria goes after realism. So you'll have to first get a architect, then they'll create a blueprint with a layout for you to approve. Then when building, you'll have many choices or options for customization, materials, room sizes, numbers of floors, and more. After something is built, whether it's a house, commercial building, or military outpost, you could do changes or upgrades, expand or enhance the building. So it's pretty much, there's so much control you can take when you're building your own house. You can do it perfect, however you would like, however you see it in your head. You're like, oh, this is gonna be the perfect house. Then you can build it. You can totally build it, which is amazing. But yes, this video was a bit longer than I thought, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. Again, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to click that like button and subscribe to get notified when I upload new content. And as always, see you next time. Now, there are 5 main religions, where each religion has their different gods, or maybe no gods at all, different styles of worship, things like that. And we don't have a lot of information about that, but some to give us a idea of how it's gonna go. Now, will this affect your character, the story, and if it does, how exactly will it work? Now, we don't know yet how you will choose your